All right, Lady Wild fans, we're back here at Amon Ice Arena. Lady Wild 10U taking on Kansas City Storm. This is a familiar foe here. We just played Kansas City two friendlies in Kansas City. Lady Wild came out victorious on both games. Been fairly even all year between these two. Just kind of depends on who shows up today. Looks like Kansas City has an extremely short bench, so Lady Wild depth might tire them down and be the difference maker today. We'll see who brings it. Just cheer for a good game, I suppose. So huddles are getting broke. We've got our first starting line looks like Margot and Lane back on defense. Caroline, Bree, and Penny, your forward line. And the puck is dropped. Bree picks up the puck. She skates it into Kansas City zone. She continues forward to the right wing circle. She takes a shot. Pad save. Delayed penalty coming. Lady Wild can go on a power play. 13 seconds into the game. Looks like a hook. Going to keep the line the same. Caroline, Bree, Penny, Margot, and Lane back on D. Puck's dropped. Bree sends it towards the net. It gets deflected. Caroline picks up the loose puck. She tries to send her to Penny. It's intercepted. Kansas City tries to clear, but Caroline picks her pocket. Pass over to Penny. Penny not able to collect. Comes to the near boards. Kansas City tries to skate it out. They lose the puck. Margot not able to hold the line. Lane comes over, tries to push it forward. Kansas City brings it in offsides. In that, we've got Cora. I think she's feeling a little under the weather. We'll see if she can power through. We do have Stella Van Meer dressed just in case. We've got Riot, Finley, and Gabby, your forward lines, with Ruby and Becca back on defense. That puck comes out of Lady Wild, or out of the Kansas City zone through neutral ice back to the Lady Wild defensive zone. Beckett sends it to this side of the ice, where now Finley pushing up the boards. Cross center ice. Come on, ladies. We're on the power play. Kansas City brings in the Lady Wild zone. This is Riot. Picked up the puck. She skates it out of the zone. Now over to Finley. Finley pushes through into the Kansas City zone. Kansas City clears. Battle here at center ice. That's Ruby. Finley pushes into Kansas City zone. They're there to intercept, and Gabby stands tall at the blue line. She sends it in deep. 6 seconds left in this peak power play. Puck comes back to Beckett. Beckett to Ruby. Ruby's going to fire right into the hands of that Kansas City player. Ruby pushes it back. Kansas City up the boards to Gabby. Gabby sends a hard shot. It's pushed away by the stick of the goalie. Finley tries to center. It's intercepted, and Kansas City sends it up. Ruby sends a hard shot up. Kansas City player hears her fans react, and she's like, "What? I'm fine." This is Riot. She takes a shot. It gets deflected wide. Finley tries to center. It gets intercepted, and puck gets pushed up to the near boards. Ruby pressuring. Kansas City now pushing in the Lady Wild zone. Beckett's there. She deflects that shot behind the net. Ruby trying to clear it out. She sends it up the near boards. It comes up to the point where Kansas City sends one in. Ruby clears it back to the near boards. Ruby gets in the way of that centering pass. Now back up to the point where Kansas City sends it in the slot. Beckett sends it to the far corner. She's trying to pick up the puck, but she's got it taken away from her. Kansas City centers. Ruby clears it to the far boards again. Here comes Gabby. She sent it going through neutral ice. Nice job, Gabby. She gets the blue line to the right wing circle, takes a shot. It's deflected behind the net. That's Laura now. She tries to center over to Gabby. It doesn't connect. Kansas City picks up the loose puck, skates through center ice. Now into Lady Wild zone, offsides. Laura, Riley, Ellie coming out for your forwards. Lennon and Gwen back on D. Kansas City brings it into the Lady Wild zone. It goes deep into the near corner. This is Riley. She pushes forward. She gains the red line and sends it in deep. Goalie sweeps it away to the near corner. Laura there. She tries to center, not able to get good wood on it. Now it comes up the blue line. Glenn holds. She sends it back in deep. Kansas City sends up the near boards. That gets past Glenn this time. Lennon comes to pick it up. She's skating through neutral ice, sends it across to the far boards. Comes in the Lady Wild zone where Lara collects. She's going to skate with it. Comes behind Cora, tries to send it up, but it's deflected back to the corner. Kansas City tries to center. Lennon intercepts it initially. The shot gets through. Pad save and cover there by Cora. Caroline, Bree, Penny are forwards. Margot and Lane back on D. Bree intercepts that pass. Now over to Caroline. Caroline picks up speed. She's going to pass forward to Lane. Lane coming into the house, but she got the puck slipped, pushed off her stick. We're going to have a penalty here, I think, on Lane as she collides with a Kansas City player and pushes her into the board. So, Lady Wild going to go on the PK. Caroline, Penny, Bree out there with Margot killing the penalty. Penny pushes the puck in neutral ice. She skates forward, has the puck off her stick at center ice. She tries to center, nobody home. Puck goes to the far boards. Kansas City picks it up. They're going to try to skate it in. Collides with Bree. Kansas City player stays down. And she's out. and the coach brings the player to her skates, and Lady Wild have 1:07 left to kill on this PK. Gonna keep Caroline, Penny, and Bree with Margot. Caroline sends it over to Bree. Now Kansas City brings it into the Lady Wild zone. Kansas City tries to center. Nobody's home. Bree loses her edge. Kansas City picks up the puck in the left wing circle. Now at the high slot. They send one towards the net. Margot intercepts and sends it out of the zone. This is going to go down for icing. Well, we decided to maybe make it a little harder on ourselves. We've got 3 out there. Not sure why. There goes Ruby to make it 4. So Ruby and Beckett, Riot, and Laura to kill the rest of this penalty. Beckett picks up the puck, skates it with it behind the net. Now she sends it up the far boards. Kansas City sends it towards the net. Ruby's there. She sends it up where Laura picks it up. Now Laura pushes it all the way deep down into the Kansas City zone for icing. No, not icing it. Must have been tipped. So we'll see if Lady Wild can hold the zone for a little bit here. Comes out into neutral ice, but Laura comes forward to pick it up. Now up to Riot. Offsides. Now Laura and Gabby are out there with Ruby and Beckett. Kansas City chips it forward. Ruby there to slow him down, but Kansas City picks it back up. Lady Wild back to full strength. Lane skates across the ice to get another forward on. Now here comes Finley. Kansas City centers. It gets swatted behind the net by Cora. Lady Wild send up the far boards. Kansas City skating forward. They come into the high slot. It's a hard shot, goes right over Cora, and then Kansas City take the lead. Laura, Riley, and Ellie out there with the forwards, and your D is Lennon and Glenn. Laura sends it into the zone momentarily. Kansas City sends it back out. Glenn comes up to try to push the puck. It goes off a skate now. Lennon skating with the puck across center ice into the Kansas City zone. She goes between those two. Now she gets by everybody. Pad save there. Kansas City sends it up the boards. Laura speeds over to keep it in the zone, but Kansas City skates it out. Board battle, Lennon and 3, Kansas City Storm. Lady Wild, rest of Lady Wild hanging out, wait for the puck to come out. Now up to Lennon. Lennon going to skate with it again. She comes up to the near board. She gets it out of the zone. Riley pushes it down into the Kansas City zone. Kansas City picks it up. They're going to skate with it behind their own net. Lady Wild are going to come try to keep pressure and keep the puck in the zone. Comes up to Lennon. Lennon skates forward. That puck goes off a couple sticks, and now Kansas City picks it up, skates it through neutral ice. Gwen back on D. She's able to get the puck away. Now it comes up to the high slot where Kansas City loses it, and Laura picks up the loose puck. She pushes it through center ice, and Kansas City picks it back up. They're skating in the Lady Wild zone. Lennon pushes the puck to the far boards. Kansas City takes a shot from the left wing circle, and it's gloved by Cora. Caroline, Bree, and Penny. Margot and Lane on D. Caroline won that over the boards. There was nobody there to accept it. They try to center. It goes right through the crease. Bree picks up the loose puck. She skates it out of the zone. Caroline chips it into the Kansas City zone. Kansas City brings it right back out. Now Bree picks it up. She skates it into the zone. Sends it in deep. Caroline picks it up. She bangs around. She's looking for something here in the slot. She comes around out of the left side. Sorry, I have to move the camera. Kansas City gets the puck and sends it up. Lady Wild trying to keep it in. Penny doing her best. She loses the edge. Caroline and Kansas City player battling with it there at the far boards. I think Caroline might be going to the box. Nope, it looks like Kansas City's going to go to the box. So delayed penalty here to bring Cora out. Coach is calling for Cora to come out of the box while Caroline gains his own. Centering pass misses to Bree, and Kansas City's going to touch this puck. Now Lady Wild will have 90-second power play with 2:03 left in the first period. On the power play, it looks like it's going to be Riot, Finley, Gabby, Lane, and Margot on D. Faceoff comes back to Lane. Lane not able to keep it in the zone. And then she sends it back in off sides. Kansas City sends that down in the Lady Wild zone. Margot collects and sends it deep into the Kansas City zone. No icing. Kansas City picks it up with speed, skating up the far boards. Gabby's there, slows the play down, but Kansas City's able to clear. Lane comes up behind to slow that down. Gabby loses the puck. Margot picks it up. Now she reverses. She's going to skate it out of his try to skate out of his zone, but she's met with some resistance, and Kansas City steals it. They're going to try to center. Nobody home. It comes over to Finley. Finley skating with the puck across the blue line now in the neutral zone. She passes over to Riot. Back to Finley. Kansas City comes from behind and steals it. Margot comes and sends it in off sides. 29 seconds left on this power play. It's going to be Laura, Riley, and Ellie, Ruby, and Beckett on D. Kansas City sends it deep into the zone. Looks like Beckett goes to collect the puck. She's skating with it, looking to clear. She sends it up to Ellie. Ellie chips it out. Kansas City sends it forward. Push it in the Lady Wild zone. Goes deep. I think Beckett will pick it up again. Kansas City back to full strength. Laura able to get it out in the neutral ice. Kansas City's resetting. They take a shot. It's deflected in front of the net. Ruby picks up the puck now. She sends it up to Ellie. Ellie trying to clear the zone. 3 Kansas City players converge on her. Now Beckett picks it up at the left wing circle, and she holds on the puck as time expires. All right, looks like we got Stella Van Meer coming out to play goalie here in the second period. Caroline, Bree, and Penny going to start on the forward line. Glenn and Lennon back on D. Puck comes over to Bree on the faceoff. She skates it into Kansas City zone. She takes a shot from the right wing circle. Kansas City's there to push it behind the net. Now Bree coming to wrap around. It comes up into the high slot. That's Lennon tries to pick it up. She's got it knocked off her stick and out of the zone. Kansas City speeds forward to try to steal that puck away from Glenn. Now they pick it up. They're skating with it through neutral zone into the Lady Wild zone. Beckett's there or Lennon rather slows it down. Kansas City gets it back in deep. They take a shot. It goes wide, right? Caroline picks up the loose puck, brings it in the neutral zone. She has a puck knocked off her stick. It comes over to Lennon. Lennon coming up the near boards, brings it into the Kansas City zone. She's dancing around. Takes a backhand shot. It goes wide. Caroline picks up the loose puck. She's going to try to come around, wrap around. It goes right through the crease. Kansas City sends it up the far boards to Glenn's there. She holds it in. She's going to come forward. She takes a shot. It goes on goal. Goalie sweeps it away with her stick. Kansas City trying to clear the zone now, and they do. Caroline picks up the loose puck in her own zone. Now she's scooting up to the blue line. She brings it out into neutral ice. Kansas City bringing in Lady Wild zone. They've got 3-on-1 as Lady Wild are taking their time getting back. They get a shot, and it's blocked and covered there by Stella. Lane and Margot coming out on D. Riot, Finley, and Gabby playing forward. Riot taking the face off there to Stella's left. Lennon skates with the puck. She sends it over to Lane. Lane now skating across. She passes it back up to Riot. Riot skating for takes a shot from the left wing circle right in the goalie's pads, and she puts it in her glove and stops the clock. Good push there by Riot and Lane. Offensive zone face-off in the left wing circle. Riot sends it over to Gabby off the face-off. Gabby not able to play. It comes to near board. Lane tries to center. Kansas City sends it to the near boards. They send it up to the line. Lane not able to keep it in. Margot rushing back to pick up the loose puck in her own zone. Now she sends it up out of the zone and neutral ice. Finley tries to collect, but she loses her edge. Puck going back and forth here through the neutral zone. Kansas City pushes now in the Lady Wild zone. Gabby pushes in neutral ice. Riot's there. Riot's got a little breakaway. She gets slashed from behind. No call. Riot, though, picks up a loose puck. Great centering pass to Finley. Then to Gabby. Goalie's on her back. They got to get this in. Get it in. Get it in. Oh, Kansas City flexed it behind the net. Now it comes up to Lane. Lane gets a center. Riot gets taken down. No calls. But Kansas City picks up the loose puck, try to get it out. Lane keeps it in. Riot tries to send it deep. It's in the near corner now. Kansas City sends it to the far boards, and then up to the blue line where Margot sends it back in deep. It's stopped there at the left wing circle now. Riot sends it deep. Gabby's at the center. She's not able to push the puck in. Now Kansas City clears. It comes into the Lady Wild zone momentarily till Lane clears. Kansas City sends it to the zone. I thought maybe offsides, but now Kansas City skates it right back out of their own zone, goes cross center ice. Great job by Margot to push the puck in deep. Lady Wild need a change. Kansas City with some fresh legs. They're skating it out of the Lady Wild zone with speed. Ruby rushing to get back. Margot's still out there. They get around Margot and take a shot. Stella make a glove save. Laura, Ellie, Riley, a forward line with Ruby and Beckett on defense. Kansas City takes a shot. Ruby deflects it. No, a puck bounces through the house, comes to the near boards. Kansas City sends it deep, goes to the far boards. Riley rushes over. She tries to backhand it up out of the zone. Kansas City keeps it in. Now this is Ellie. She gets it out of the zone. Kansas City sends it back in offsides. New forward line with Caroline, Bree, and Penny. Ruby and Beckett still back on defense. Bree comes away with the puck again off the faceoff, skates it into the Kansas City zone at the right wing circle. She's coming across. She's just got the goalie to beat, got the goalie way out of position, not able to get that backhand in. Kansas City, though, picks up the loose puck. Beckett pitches to kind of slow him down. Kansas City continues the push. They get around Ruby. They take a shot way over the net. Beckett pushes the loose puck in the neutral ice. Kansas City, though, brings it right back in. Now Beckett going to get called for a trip. All right, Lady Wild find themselves on a PK. 6:33 in the second period. Caroline, Bree, Gwen, and Lennon out to kill this. Gwen sends out the board. Kansas City not able to keep it in. Now they're waiting to clear the zone. Bree, though, picks up the loose puck, sends it up to Caroline. Caroline brings it into the Kansas City zone. She skates forward, has it taken off her stick, and Kansas City picks it up in the corner, now skating out of the zone. Lennon and Gwen getting back on D. Lennon, rather, takes the puck off the stick, but not able to clear the zone. Gwen rushing back to the far corner. Now she sends it up the far boards to Caroline. Caroline slides with the Kansas City boy, but Bree picks up the loose puck. She's got speed coming into the zone. One to beat with the goalie. Goalie makes a pad save. It goes to the far boards behind the net. Bree tries to center, nobody there. Gwen speeding forward at the far boards to send it back in. It hits a skate, and then Kansas City tries to clear the zone, and Lennon keeps it and pushes it in deep. 17 seconds left on this PK. They're trying to clear the zone. Gwen's stick is caught up. She uses her skates to keep it in. Kansas City able to get it out. Gets by Lennon. Gwen comes up, hooks the puck back out of the zone. Lady Wild are going to be back at full strength as Beckett comes out of the box. Riot pushes a play forward, and she takes a shot. It gets deflected over the net. Now Kansas City's able to clear. Margot comes to pick up the puck. She gathers in her own zone. Now she's going to skate forward with it. Comes across center ice. She gets pushed off by two Kansas City players. Puck comes into Kansas City zone. Now they're going to try to skate it out. Lady Wild converge, slow the puck down. Gosh, that's a really close offsides call. As Margot's trying to get back across the line before we brought this puck back in. Riot, Finley, and Gabby forward line. Margot and Lay back on D. Kansas City wins that back. Now they clear the zone. And they send it into the Lady Wild zone, but Lane's there to pick it up. She's skating forward. She passes over to Gabby, or Finley rather. Finley bring it deep. Kansas City picks up the loose puck at the far corner. They're going to try to skate out of the zone. They get around Finley. Margot holds the line. Now Margot picks up the loose puck. She's skating around. She has the puck knocked off her stick. It comes to the near boards. Margot centers. Gabby tries a one-timer. Doesn't get Goodwood on it. It's deflected. It comes out to left wing circle where Riot sends it in. It goes wide. Now Gabby collects at the right wing circle, and she sends it. It goes behind the net. Now it comes up to Margot at the point, and she's not able to get a good shot off, and she sends it back in off sides. Laura, Ellie, and Riley with Ruby and Beckett on defense. Lady Wild need to try to knock this thing up here before the end of the period. Start the third period fresh if we can. Great stick there by Beckett. She gathers and pushes the puck forward. Now Riley sends it backhand into the Kansas City zone. They pick it up with some speed, skating in through neutral ice. Now into the Lady Wild zone. Ruby's back on D. They get around Ruby and Beckett, and they take a shot at this fast start. Kansas City takes a 2-0 lead. Lara battling hard at that face-off. It comes over to Ellie. Ellie pushing forward at the red line, trying to get it across. Puck squirts back where Riley Tries to pick it up. She loses it in Kansas City now, bringing in the Lady Wild zone. Ruby's over there to pressure. She sends this puck back up towards the blue line. Kansas City keeps it in. They send one in deep. Beckett skates over to pick it up. She's skating up to the blue line. She gets it out to Laura. Laura backhands it forward. It comes into Kansas City zone. Kansas City brings it up. Ruby skates forward to keep it in. Once again, Ruby there to keep it in. She sends it deep. It's intercepted. Big collision there with Laura and a Kansas City player. Ruby takes a shot and plays whistle dead. All right, Laura gets back up. She's going to skate off the ice. Lady Wild with the full line change coming in. Caroline, Bree, Penny, and then Glenn and Lennon on defense. Great pass from Glenn to Lennon, or Penny. Penny sends a shot at stick and then goes behind the net. Kansas City sends it all the way around. He gets to Glenn. Glenn chips it back deep. Kansas City intercepts. Now back up to Glenn. Glenn passes over to Penny. Penny loses her edge, and now Kansas City's going to pick it up with some speed. Beckett slows it down momentarily. Now here comes Caroline, the pressure. She slows it all the way down, and now picks up the loose puck, skates with it in the neutral ice. She comes around one. Great back check there by Kansas City to slow Caroline down. Bree intercepts that pass. She sends it in. It goes off the skate. Then Penny comes up, and she's not able to get good wood on it. She loses her edge. Caroline does a good job to keep it in. Now Kansas City picking it back up. They're going to send it deep, and this should be icing. That's ice. We'll have an offensive zone face-off. Ryan, Finley, and Gabby, your forward line. Lane and Fargo out on D. Puck comes out across the line, and I think that was Finley that sends it back in offsides. Gabby bringing the puck in. She tries to center. Nobody's home. It goes to the far corner. Kansas City chips it up. Right there to intercept. She sends a shot. It goes off the skate. Centering pass will be there. Oh, there's Gabby. She's comes around. Oh, right there. Yes. I think it looked like Gabby to Ryan to Finley. They got the goalie out of position. That backside was open, and Finley was there to push it in. So Lady Wild cut the lead down to 1, or the deficit down to 1. Laura back out here. That's great to see. She's got Ellie and Riley with her. Margot and Lane back on defense. Lane pushes over to Riley. Riley picks it up by the referee. She sends it in the Kansas City zone. Kansas City intercepts. They chip it up towards the blue line. It's kept in there by Riley. Riley sends it deep now. Kansas City picks it up at the left wing circle. They don't neither get good wood on it. Off the Kansas City skate to keep it in. Back to Margot. Margot tries to send it deep off another Kansas City skate. Now Kansas City tries to get it out from this side. Lane speeds up, tries to push it back in deep. Laura battling at the boards. Lane coming up, and there's Ellie as well. Kansas City comes away with the loose puck. They lose it right at center ice. A lot of contact there with Lane and another Kansas City player. Nothing called. Margot picks up the puck. She passes it up to boards. Kansas City is there. They send it in deep. Lane intercepts that shot, and she skates it behind the net as time expires in the second period. All right, Lady Wab will have 12 minutes in the third period to try to tie it up and then take the lead. We'll be back in a minute. All right, Coach Will, the Y, trying to impart some wisdom on these ladies to give them what they need to tie this game up. We've got Caroline, Bree, and Penny coming out with Ruby and Beckett on defense. The rest awaken from their slumber. They come out of the box to drop the puck. Caroline skating with the puck. She brings it across center ice. She meets some pressure and loses the puck. It comes back, and there's Ruby to push it forward to Bree. And Bree and Penny skates now. Caroline there, though. She skating, brings it in. She gets hooked. Nothing called. Penny pushes it deep. Puck dribbles in. Oh, Penny not able to collect it, but now she's going to come. She's going to center. It gets intercepted. Kansas City picks it up, skates behind their net. Now at the near boards, they're going to send it up. Ruby's there. She's going to fire. It gets blocked there at the left wing circle. Bree backhands it forward. Kansas City, though, picks up some speed. Great stick there by Beckett to keep it in. It goes deep. Penny pressuring behind the net as Kansas City trying to skate up the near boards. There's Caroline. Kansas City able to clear the zone. They send it across ice. Beckett racing over. She puts it up to Penny. Penny not able to collect, and Kansas City pushes forward. Bree, though, stops it there. Now she's bringing it in the zone. She tries to pass over to Penny. Kansas City, though, intercepts, clears the zone. Now Caroline bringing it in. She gets tripped, and so Lady Watt are going to come on the power play. All right, let's see what Lady Watt can do on this power play. Riot, Finley, and Gabby, and Lennon and Glenn coming out for this power play. All right, great win over to Gabby. Gabby maybe they'll get a shot. Now Lennon comes over, sends it in deep. That's Finley back there behind the net, battling for the puck. Kansas City sends it to the far boards. Lennon pinches to push the puck forward. Great centering pass. Doesn't connect with anybody. Now Riot spins, sends it in. It gets deflected there. Finley's going to get called for a trip here. So we're going to be even strength 4-on-4 for about a minute, and then Storm will have a 28-second power play. All right, for the 4-on-4, it looks like Bree and Caroline, Lane and Margot. Lane's got the puck. She's going to skate with it. She chips off the boards, gets in neutral ice. Now Caroline picks it up. She's got some speed coming in the zone. She's getting hooked and slashed. Held up, nothing called. Now this puck comes up. Lane trying to collect, send it in deep. Caroline kind of gets boarded there. Nothing called. She tries to send it over to Bree a little bit behind her. Those are the far boards. Lane sends it in deep now. 20 seconds left on this 4-on-4. Great pass from Caroline to Bree. Bree gets a shot deflected. Caroline tries to wrap around right in front of the net. The goalie covers it up. 8 seconds left here on 4-on-4. Puck comes across the Bree now that Kansas City sends it up to the blue line. Margot sends it back in deep. Kansas City the only one there. Kansas City now back to full strength and on a 28-second power play. Caroline picks up the loose puck. She tries to pass it over to Bree. Few Kansas City players there. Lane tries to send it in. It gets deflected there in the slot. Now Bree sends it back in deep. Lady Wild now back to full strength. Puck comes up to Margot. Margot keeps it in. She sends it back in deep. Penny skates off, and she's going to join the rush here. Penny comes, sends it in deep. Kansas City now sends it back up the far or near boards where Margot's there. She sends it back up to Caroline. Caroline with a wide angle shot goes right through the crease. Goalie deflects it to the far boards. Lane skates forward to send it in deep. Puck hanging out right by the net. Now it comes to the near boards. Kansas City looking to break out. And Kansas City kept that in themselves. Now they send it out with some speed. That's going to come all the way down for icing. That should have been icing. That did not. All right, maybe it got deflected, but Caroline's getting at the puck at the far board. She brings it out of the zone. Now across center ice. She's got one to beat. Oh, she loses the puck, but here comes Ellie. She passes it forward to Caroline. Caroline skates forward with it. Now she's in deep. She's trying to center. Nobody's there. It's puck deflected near boards. Ruby comes up. She sends it in. Oh, fully way out of position. The puck just not able to get in. Now it goes back up to Ruby. Ruby stops it. She flips one up in the air. It's blocked there by Kansas City. Now they're skating within the neutral zone. Ruby and Lennon getting back. They send one from way up high, and it's an easy pad save there by Stella. Ruby sends it up the near boards. Laura coming up. but Kansas City sends it back in deep. Beckett not able to get good one on that clear. Initially stopped there by Ruby. Ruby now sends it up and out of the zone. Kansas City's going to have to reset. Let's see if the Lady Walk can come up and get possession. They send it back in. Now Ruby's picking it up. She backhands it over to Riley. Riley pushes it deep into the Kansas City zone. Kansas City skating with some speed. Ruby and Beckett getting back on defense. They take a shot, and it's gloved there by Lily, or Stella, rather. Maybe Wild at 5:55 to try to tie this thing up. Riot, Gabby, and Finley out there with Lennon and Glenn on defense. Riot wins that face-off to Glenn. Glenn sends out the boards, but it's intercepted. Kansas City sends it back in deep. Lennon picks it up behind the net. Now she's skating with it up the boards. She chips it forward to Gabby. Kansas City able to get a shot, but Glenn intercepts, sends it back to the back boards. Kansas City centers, nobody's there, but Finley skates the puck out of the zone. She's pushing forward in the Kansas City zone. Kansas City, though, sends it right back out. Glenn sends it in momentarily. Kansas City sends it right back out. Now Finley turns and skates with the puck into the zone. It goes deep. Kansas City picks it up behind their own net. No, they try to reverse. Great centering pass. There's Riot. Yeah! Riot with a great shot. Riot with a blocker of that goal to tie the game up. All right, new game here with 5:03 left in the third period. Caroline, Bree, Penny, with Margot and Lane back on defense. Great job by Penny pushing the puck into the Kansas City zone. Now she gets it deep. Storm pick it up behind their own net. Now skating with some speed, trying to clear the zone. Margot going to try to push the puck. And they just keep picking up some speed. They're going to get a shot right into Stella's bread basket. She drops and covers that up. All right, Caroline bringing the puck into neutral ice. She tries to pass it over to Bree. Kansas City intercepts, and then Penny pushes it back in offsides. Laura, Riot, and Lennon, your forward line with Lane and Margot. Goes into the Kansas City zone. They send it right back out, and it's going to go down for icing. All right, Laura, Lennon, and Riot stay out on your forward line with Ruby now and Beckett on B. Faceoff comes back to Riot. She tries to take a shot, but it gets deflected. Kansas City sends it deep. I don't think this will have enough for icing, so Beckett skates to pick it up. She tries to push it up the far boards. Now she's going to skate with it. She's got the puck pushed off of her. Now Riot comes to pick it up at the near boards, trying to skate out of the zone. She's met with some resistance. Ruby, she sends it up, but it's blocked there at the blue line. Beckett picks up the puck at the far corner up to Lennon. Lennon clears the zone. She pushes it through across center ice. Now it's over to Riot. Riot sends it in deep. Lennon overskates that play a little bit. This is a speedy defenseman from the Storm. They get around all of our D. She takes a shot. It goes behind the net. She's got it again at the right wing circle. Takes a shot. Easily gloved there by Stella. All right, Caroline, Bree, and Penny out your forward line. Margot and Lane back on defense. Or no, that's Margot and Gwen. Margot skating forward with it, tries to pass it over to Caroline. She doesn't connect, but now Bree comes up, pushes it deep. Caroline collects behind the net. Great centering pass, but it's intercepted. Puck's hanging out in the slot. Let's see if the Lady Wild can get a dirty one here. Kansas City able to clear it out. Goes behind the net now. Now they've sent it up the near boards. Margot's here. She sends it up to Caroline. It gets poked back up, and Kansas City sends it out deep. That will not quite have enough for icing, so Gwen's going to come play it. She backhands it up. Nobody's there except for Kansas City. Penny rushes in and try to push it out, but Kansas City intercepts and sends it back in deep. Now Gwen's got the puck. She's skating with it. This isn't Gwen. This is Caroline. Caroline over to Bree. Caroline runs into Kansas City players, throw it away. Bree's out of position. Great effort there by Bree to come up and break it up from behind. And trickles up towards the net and really covers it, or Stella rather covers it up. What a rush. Kansas City begging for a penalty there. I think I closed my eyes, so I didn't see what happened. I just saw Bree come up from behind. I think the puck ended up in Stella's gear, so she's trying to get the puck out. .158 left in this game. I think the Lady Wild must have taken a timeout here. Caroline, Bree, and Margot, your forward line. Ruby and Lane on defense. I'm not sure what's going on here. Oh, okay. Ref over here talking to the Kansas City coach, so they weren't ready to drop the puck. So we'll do that again. All right, it's for real this time. And now Caroline picks it up. She gets tripped. No call. Bree picks up the puck. She's skating with it. Passes up to Caroline. Now Caroline picks it up behind her own net. Caroline not able to get it up and out. Now it comes back to Ruby. Ruby reverses, backhands it up to the near boards. Now Caroline's got a little bit more space. She's got a lot she can do here. She gets around that Kansas City player. She takes a shot. It's a pad save there. Kansas City trying to clear it, not able to get good wood on it. Caroline comes in. Puck squirts out. Kansas City able to clear the zone. Touching RD out of position. They're going to get a shot. They skate into, the shot goes in Stella's red basket, and then the player skates in the rest of the way. Looks like Stella's okay. Bree came off and Lennon went on, so our forward line looks like Lennon, Caroline, and Margot. Looks like another timeout. All right, Lady Wild break the huddle. Kansas City comes to join them at the left wing circle. All right, Lane picks up the puck. She from behind the net sends it up the boards. Kansas City sends it up. Now, great job by Margo to clear the zone. Kansas City sends it back in. It's offsides. We'll have a face-off at center ice. Kansas City able to get the puck in deep in Lady Wild zone. Lane sends it up all the way around the far boards. It comes out of the zone. Come on, Lady Wild, let's push. Kansas City now brings it in offsides. Just a battle here in the neutral zone. Looks like unless one of these teams pulls off a miracle, this thing's going to end in a tie. That's it. Game over. I'm sure this will end in a tie. Not sure how the seating will work, but my best guess is that Lady Wild, with this tie, have earned a spot in the championship. But we will see. So hang tight. Don't take my word for that, but I believe we'll be starting. We'll miss the 9 o'clock game, and we'll have the 11:45 game tomorrow. But hold tight. We'll let everybody know what happens here and where we end up with seating. So thanks for tuning in. We'll catch everybody at the next game.